greetings from UAE. Sherry is saying hello, everyone. Sherry Desereth, well, I think I'm saying that right. Happy holidays from Southern California, Kaboom. Thanks for all the leadership and thank you for joining us, Sherry. Dr. Vincent Henderson is saying hi from Razorback country in Arkansas. We got a football guy on, that's for sure. Oh, we've got Dr. Bill Williams has his mug. I can see, I see both mugs, your mug and your mug. Look at this. We've got, oh boy, everyone's going fast. Michael from Florida. Hello. Donna from Kentucky. James from North Coast Dominican Republic. I love going to the Dominican Republic. Hello. Those of you who are watching, we're in over 200 countries. This company is unbelievable. You're going to learn about it. You're going to see why everyone's tuning in from everywhere. Mao is here from Montana. Okay, Francisco, we'll have someone answer that questions. Clementine is saying hello from Denver, Colorado. Okay, so we're going to get started very, very soon. Welcome, everybody. It looks like we've got the recording going. My name is Susie McCrae, and I'm a founder with Onpassive, coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. As you see on the screen, there's people from everywhere as panelists. Today, you're going to learn about a business called Onpassive, and we're going to open it up to Q&A, and you're going to hear stories from people as to why they joined and jumped on board as a founder. So go ahead down in the Q&A. We'll do our best to get back to you with any questions you may have. This is a public webinar, so there may be things that we can't share on this that we can only share in our private webinars, but we'll do our best to work around that. If you want to jump on board and become a founder like the rest of us, which we truly believe, you're going to catch the vision and want to do that, reach out to the person who invited you and they will help you sign on, and you're going to have the journey of your life for a future that is going to be unbelievable. So welcome everyone. I'm going to turn it over either to Mike or to Marty, who are going to be masters of ceremony today.
So hello everybody, and welcome to this call. Welcome from around the world. Just, I know that Marty's recording this, so I want to make sure that we do a little bit of housekeeping to start out with. I want to, if you're not going to be speaking, please mute your mics so we don't interrupt the person who's presenting. And in the video, if you're going to be like doing the dishes or, out in the yard mowing the lawn, something kind of crazy like that, turn your video off because it always ends up under the presenter and it's a little bit disturbing. So we'd appreciate that. A little bit of housekeeping there. My name is Mike Cord. I'm in sunny California, born and raised here. Been a general contractor here, for most of my life. And so, David, if you could mute your mic, thank you. It's been very, very good for me. But things happen. We started coming together doing this Saturday hangout, and we just kind of talked about why we were doing Onpassive and what it meant for us. And it grew from just a couple of people to 30, 40 people. And today we have over 300 and growing. I bet we'll probably reach 1,000 people on this Saturday chat and hangout. I know that we have some new people here today too, that they're either kind of new to Onpassive, or maybe they've been with Onpassive for a while. And I'm sorry, maybe they've just been introduced to Onpassive. So we will have, again, if somebody could mute yourself, appreciate that. We will have Mike Ellis coming out and sharing with us today, for the new person, what Onpassive is and why it's important, why the founder position is important. So he's going to give us a little presentation today. So look forward to that. So again, it's like, I'll go back to 1 year ago today. I had my construction business had built to a multi-million-dollar company. We were having our Christmas party. I had 35 employees with all of their family, they're at the house. And we were looking forward to 2011, moving forward with the projects we had in progress. We had 7 buildings that we were building at the time. And we had 4 of those buildings taken away from us because of a a disaster in our area. A gas line blew up underground, blew up a whole city block of houses. And there's nothing I could do about it, but I lost millions of dollars in projects, which really kind of shut my company down. Had to let 35 employees go. And so since then, it's been just trying to find something to get back to a retirement. I'll be 62 on the 11th of January. I would have been retired very comfortably. So when I learned about Onpassive, it was because I was looking for a product or a service that would help me build another business that I was working on. And so when I finally wrapped my head around it, it was a year earlier I said no to Onpassive. Somebody finally shared it with me again to enlighten me that, okay, this company is going to do marketing for you. They're going to guarantee signups for you no matter what you're doing. And they're going to guarantee traffic. So I finally got my head wrapped around it. And I was excited about that. But as I learned more, see, when I first came into Onpassive back in March, there was no place that I could go to learn about Onpassive. My upline really didn't know. They didn't have a place where I could go and learn. So I got on Facebook and I got on YouTube and I started searching. As I reached out and I kept searching, I found, first I found, I think it was Marty DeGarmo through Facebook, then also Mike Ellis's YouTube videos, which are great. Really got myself more informed about what Onpassive was about. And then Dan Street, as I got connected with these three guys, Mike, Marty, and Dan, definitely got to get a better understanding about, okay, Onpassive really is a business within itself that is going to be far superior than anything else that I was doing. So that got excited about that. Got to know, again, Mike, Marty, and Dan, got really tuned up, and we started having more of these calls. And here we are today. Now we're at almost 350 people on a fireside chat the day after Christmas. How cool is this? This is awesome. So a little bit about Mike Ellis. He too is also a builder in Colorado, working towards retirement. Marty DeGarmo is our Facebook guru. Together, him and Mike, Marty, and Dan Street. Dan does blogs. These guys have figured out how to do marketing over the years, and they've done very well at it. So enough about me. This is about you. And again, if we have some new people here, this is Mike Ellis is going to come out and kind of share with us what Onpassive is, give us a nice little presentation. And again, why it's important, especially right now, to think about if you're looking at this to become a founder. So Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, Mike, thanks for the introduction. You know, we all think about living in abundance. It's kind of where we all want to be. Mike talked about it just a few minutes, and it's the place we want to be. But in order to live in abundance, you have to know how to develop wealth. And if you don't know how to develop wealth, you'll always be in that place of lack and need. And today, I'm going to share with you very, very quickly, and this really is for the new people that are here that are just starting to explore Onpassive. I'm going to share with you some really unique things that have never been done before, online, offline, in business as a whole. And it was developed by a gentleman by the name of Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh is the CEO of Onpassive. He is the visionary. He is the brain trust behind Onpassive. And what he's done really is unique because it solves that problem for us to find a way to build wealth and to get out of those financial woes that we've all had at one time or another. So as we think about Onpassive and the things that they're doing today, they will show you a way forward. And Onpassive, it is a massive, massive business. But Ash, because of his genius, has made it very, very simple for us, those individuals that want to come on and build wealth. And that's what I'm going to talk about just very, very quickly. Believe me, you will have more questions after I'm done, but that's what this fireside chat is all about. We will answer those questions. But I want to talk about 4 concepts that Ash put together that would show us a way forward to start building wealth online. And it's very, very simple. Once you understand these 4 concepts, once you put them together, you have found a home, you have found a way forward, and you have found a way to build that wealth. The first thing Very, very simple. As you come in and you start to participate with Onpassive, it is a self-funding business. And all that means is you will go out of pocket once, you will never have to go out of pocket again. Very, very simple. But that has never been done online before. I've been in many, many programs, and I can tell you, they will milk you dry until you quit. That's just the way it is. That is not Onpassive. You will pay once, you will never have to go out of pocket again. The next one is extraordinary. As you come in and start to participate with Onpassive, Onpassive is going to force you to be successful. All that means is they are going to make sure you make money. In fact, they are going to guarantee that. You will make money as you come into Onpassive. Now, I have never had an argument against that. Everybody loves that, and they hope it's true. And originally when I came in, I wasn't sure it was true until I looked at the numbers, how Onpassive was structured, how the play plan was structured, and more importantly, Ash Mufareh, he's not coming in to hoard the wealth. He's coming in to share the wealth. Because of those things, you come into Onpassive, you will make money. How's that going to happen? Onpassive, again, these are things that have never been done. They truly are revolutionary. What Onpassive is going to do is you come in and start your business with Onpassive. They are actually going to grow your business by driving traffic. This is such a big deal. If you've been online any amount of time, well, even offline, online, offline, you know how difficult it is to get good qualified eyes in front of what you're doing. It's a really, really hard thing to do. Onpassive is better than anybody I've ever seen, including myself, Dan, and Marty, and we've been doing this about 15 years now. We're pretty good at it. With Onpassive, we just pale. We just pale in comparison. And to give you an example of the kind of traffic Onpassive is going to be driving for all of us. And when I say all of us, those are the individuals that have come in, become founders. That is a $97 position. It locks you into Onpassive. It locks you into the pay structure of Onpassive. Really important. But what Onpassive is going to be doing for us is driving traffic. And an example of the kind of traffic they're going to be driving, about 3 weeks ago, Marty, Dan, and I, we had a couple of videos. And Ash Mufareh saw the videos. And he said, well, you know, I'm going to run a little bit of traffic through these videos. And keep in mind, a little bit. And as he did that, normally we get between, I don't know, 3,000 and 8,000 views per video. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but not much. And Ash started driving a little bit of traffic. And in 4 days, we got 250,000 views on 2 videos. That is extraordinary. That had never happened to myself or Dan or Marty. This is the kind of volume that Onpassive is going to be driving for all of us. And Onpassive is primarily a customer-based, product-based business. They are an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology company. And the majority of the volume that they're going to be driving underneath us is going to be customers. Now, it will also be other individuals that want to participate with Onpassive, but it will primarily be customers. And they will be coming in by the millions. That's the kind of traffic Onpassive is going to be driving for all of us. The last concept is just as important as the first 3. It is a customer-based, product-based business. That's what Onpassive is. They are a massive company. Right now, they have over 50 products in Onpassive. They are all proprietary. They're all built from the ground up, cutting-edge technology. And as customers come in and start to use these products, they will love them. That's how much better they are than what's out there today. And why are they going to come in and use these products? They're going to come in and use the products because it does a couple things. Number 1, it makes their life easier, their work easier. I love that. And number 2, it will make their bottom line better. Everybody loves that. I'm going to give you a quick example of the kind of customers that are going to be coming into Onpassive as they launch to the world, and we're getting very, very close to that time. One of the tools of Onpassive is a webinar service. Kind of what we're doing today. We're doing a webinar with Zoom. Zoom is massive. They're one of the big dogs on the block, and they are a multi-billion-dollar company. I believe as Onpassive launches to the world with this one product, the webinar product, that Zoom, over a very short period of time, will be out of business. In fact, with this one product, I believe Onpassive, in the course of a year, could become a unicorn company, a company that has a value of $1 billion. That's one product. There are 25 other companies that have a webinar service online. I believe we're going to take market share away from all of those, and in a year's time would become a unicorn company. Now let's add the other 49 products, because they're all just as good as the webinar service. They are absolutely stellar. And we know today, moving forward, that as Onpassive launches to the world, Onpassive will be a unicorn company. In fact, their value will be about $3 billion day one. Now, understand what I just said has never been done in the history of the world. It's never been done online. No company, the day they launched, has become a $1 billion company. What Ash Mufareh has done for us, those individuals that come in, participate, become founders, pay the $97, they've given us the opportunity to participate with everything on Onpassive and get to that place where you're actually developing wealth and you have abundance in your life rather than lack. This is what Ash has done for us, because he has a heart to serve and he wants to share all the proceeds of Onpassive with those individuals that are participating with Onpassive. This is Onpassive. It was made for you and I. It was made for you to find a way forward to actually start building wealth. So this is a quick introduction into Onpassive. If you have any other questions, just throw them at us. We've got some great talent on this webinar today. There won't be a question you ask that we can't answer. Mike, I'll turn it back over to you and keep the ball rolling.
All right. Thank you, Mike Ellis. Just really appreciate Mike Ellis so much coming out and being the spokesperson for us. You know, I go back to my first webinars that I was doing, the Zoom meetings that I was having, and I didn't really have the answers, and Mike come out, and it's like every time he come out and spoke, just like he did today, and I'm sure you'll agree, I got more excited, even today, in his presentation today, because it just sinks in a little bit more about those customers that are going to be coming in, and how many and how much that's going to do for you.
Oh, I don't know.
Harvey, can you mute, please? Thank you, Harvey Green. There you go. Thank you. So again, just really appreciate you, Mike Ellis, and then Marty DeGarmo, Dan Street. What a team! So many people on here, so many leaders coming out again, hanging out on this Saturday. Just really appreciate. So I'm going to turn this call now over to Marty, because this is really, you know, Marty's team and Marty's people here. I got a lot of people on the call myself. Appreciate you all coming out. Appreciate all of the panelists being a part of this today, and that's really what this is about. We're going to get to hear from some people and hear some wonderful stories. So I'm going to let Marty take it over from here. So again, just to really appreciate you all coming out. Hopefully you're having a wonderful holiday season here, and we're in for a season of our lifetime. Thank you, Marty. Pass it over here.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. Both Mikes. Mike did a shorter version. It's longer when we do a regular opportunity type team build. But we had this fireside chat. I believe this is the third one, and they've done very well because people open up and tell their journey or why they got into Onpassive, or they ask questions, or it gives a chance for everyone to say something instead of just my big mouth and a couple of us other ones. So I hope everybody had a great Christmas. And a little about myself. I'm 60 years old, be 61 next month. I've been online forever, since 2004. And I was looking for Onpassive because it gives a chance for anyone to make money, anyone and everyone, not just somebody that knows all the skills or had the time to learn the skills. It's not about just mindset. It's not just about how many books and all that. Yeah, it's great to read books, but you need a company that gives you an even pitch where you get the same fair chance as anybody else. And Onpassive is that company. My second thing about joining this company is I wanted, it means nothing if I don't know who the CEO and the owner is. And about a year ago or a little more now, I got a call from Ash Mufareh and started to get to know who this guy is. Never met anybody like him, I can honestly say that. And I've traveled all over the world. He's got the skills, the resources, and the knowledge to do something this big. And the difference is where Jeff Bezos built Amazon, he's keeping 99% of his profits. That's why he's a multi-billionaire, and Ash Mufareh has given away a bulk of his money that he makes to us or other founders. And I don't care how long you've been online, very few people here any longer than me. There's nothing out there like Onpassive. Like I said, Mike gave a short version, but go ahead and look around. There's just nothing that's going to guarantee your success and build your business for you. And if you have a passion in something else, they'll build that for you. So it's amazing. It's amazing what you have your hands on if you really take a look at this. I had people try to compare it. There is no comparison. You can't say, well, this is like, no, it's not. I'll tell you right now, no, it's not. I don't care what the name of the company is, it's not. It's not an MLM. It's not email marketing. It's a hybrid of everything good. It really is. It's a hybrid of everything good. Products that are in high demand right now. For example, Zoom that we're on now. They made $129 billion this year. They made 19 billion last year. They raised over $100 billion in 1 year because of the pandemic. But they got limitations. This Zoom that we're on right now is paid for by Ash Mufareh, and I believe he's paying something like $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 a month to have the capacity that this will hold. In Onpassive, when it launches, the webinar service has no limitations, and it's one of like 50 products for close to $200 a month. It's unheard of. And every time somebody purchases, you get a piece of the pie. It's that simple. But today is more informal, where we get to meet other people. I see hundreds of names every day. I do a live every day, and I see all these names, but I never really get to meet these people. I like to know people, why they're here. What was it about Onpassive that said, bing, I think I want to do that? And about the journey and what you plan on doing it when you become successful. Because I believe not just people that build a big team, but people that came in and have no one. When it launches, their team is going to grow. That's why Onpassive is so great. You could come in here, build no team at all, and day one, the company's going to start building for you. And remember, there's a lot of leaders in here that have built teams. I looked back on me, Mike, and Dan, and we've created sets of three anyway, hundreds and hundreds of sets of three of what you would call overflow. And that's for people downline. And when we first got in, it was deliberate. We said, we're not going to worry about what we get. Let's create overflow. And that's what we've been working on for about 20 months now, going on 2 years. And like I said, you couldn't be in better hands. We all saw the building behind me, 5-story building that's been leased for 9 years. It's got 5 floors, and each floor is being redone with hundreds and hundreds of laptop computers and techs, the highest techs in the world, the smartest engineers. And by the end of this month, the next couple of days, they should have 1,000 people that are working for Onpassive. You don't do that if you're not planning big. So that's just to put a little bit of a spotlight on that. But anyway, what I want to do is, anybody, Red's here now, but anybody, if you have a question or you want to make a comment or give us your story, I want to hear it. And all you have to do is unmute yourself. Let's try to be careful with each other. I know there'll be some overlapping by accident, but if you have a story, let's hear it. Or if you have questions, unmute yourself and do it. And if you're in the attendance and you want to come on and ask a question, just raise your hand and I'll bring you on. But this is very laid back. This is not, nobody's being judged. Don't worry about dumb questions. That's my job. I ask every dumb question there is because I don't care. I want to know. I want to know. No matter how dumb it is, I want to know. So if you think you're going to beat me in a dumb question, I doubt it. Okay, you can go ask Ash. I have many of them. So anybody got anything, let's get this ball rolling. That's what we're here for. and the first one that gets on wins a car. Hey, Stuart Molyneux, go ahead, buddy. Unmute yourself. You don't win a car, by the way. I just said that to Steve.
No, shame for that. Marty, thank you very much for the invite. And yeah, I just want to give you the reason why I joined GoFounders and how it happened. But what I want to do is give a little bit of history of myself first and how I got to it. In 1990, somebody invited me to the house to have a look at something that's going to change my life and change my future. And I went there, and some guy was selling a dream and drawing circles. I was a businessman. I had a construction cleaning company, but those circles changed my life because all of a sudden I could see there was a future, and I could see there's a way out of what I call the 9 to 5, 40-40. I joined the company. I built a small team. I spent 18 months traveling up and down the south coast of England, doing trainings and presentations and stuff like that. And but it wasn't for me. The politics of the company wasn't what I liked, and so I decided to look around. Well, I've been through various companies since. I started off with health companies, ones that looked good. I stuck with them for a while, found out that the biggest obstacle we had was auto-ship. And people just could not afford the auto-ship. The products were good, they lasted longer than what it was, and they kept building stuff up. And the other thing was, of course, they couldn't sponsor. And if they did sponsor, they seemed to sponsor the friend or the husband or the wife, and they couldn't sponsor either. So we ended up like, ugh. And that went on for a few years, and then came the internet. And yeah, I mean, the first lot was like belly to belly, shaking hands, facial, you know, going out there and talking to people. Internet was totally different. It was something like, wow, rock and roll, we can go for it. Unfortunately, I turned into a frog. I was hopping from one leaf to another, from one, what do you call, shiny object to the next one, picking up people, sponsoring like mad, spending maybe 10, 12 hours a day advertising, paying for adverts, paying for this, paying for that. And yeah, I went through quite a bit. But I always had the belief. I actually believed in the free enterprise system. I actually believed in this is the way to go. There has to be one of these products or one of these companies that's going to do something sometime, and I want to be there when it happened. And yeah, I got caught. I lost a lot of money. I made a few bob, lost more. And well, I've got some notes here, so I'm pretty old. Sometimes I forget things. Right. The other thing is I only ever promoted one company at a time. I thought you could only chase one rabbit at a time, so I only did one company. I did not want to diverse myself over there. And this went on, I say, for quite a few years. And my wife, you know, say to me, Stuart, why are you doing it? It's costing us money, you're not getting anywhere. And Thomas Edison always come to mind. And the story goes, it might not be the correct way of doing it, but the way of saying it, but one day Mrs. Edison went to see Thomas, and she says, Thomas, why are you doing this? You know, you just failed 1,000 times. And Thomas says, Mrs. Edison, I haven't failed once. I've just found 1,000 ways it didn't work. And that's what's kept me going. And I always say that's to my wife as well, so she can't argue with me. Right. On November 9, 2018, I had an accident in France and smashed my arm and broke it in 3 places at the top of my shoulder. I was 73 years old, and I was working, and I was working in windows and glass and glazing and stuff like that, but I couldn't work after that. I was finished. And it's a bit of a shock. I was stuck in France for 2 or 3 days, because that's where it happened. We went over there for going to buy some wines and things. and I came back to the UK, but I mean, I couldn't drive for 8 months, and we had a lousy Christmas. I'd say lousy Christmas, but you know. And I worked with a man called Dennis Snelka. We were sort of worked as buddies. We were going through things, and I rang him up before Christmas, and I said, Dennis, I've had enough. I can't do it anymore. I've got no money to build a business. I'm fed up of feeding people that just sit there waiting for me to do something for them. I'm just fed up. I just can't take it. I'd actually lost my confidence. And yeah, sad time. Anyway, come the 27th of December, which is 2 years today, Dennis sent me a message and said, Stuart, I want you to have a look at this business. I know you don't want to join it, but I'd just like your opinion on it. And he said, just let me know what you think. He said, I joined it yesterday. He says, I'm already in. He said, it's $97 to get started. So I said, fine, okay, I'll have a look at it. And the first thing I saw was Ash Mufareh. Well, I was in WWS for many years, but I used it just for the product. I never built it. And that was the beginning of GDI that Ash was doing. So I knew that he had a good name. I knew he was a big builder, and he had a lot of credibility. So that made me think, okay. But the thing that made me stop was I didn't have to sponsor anybody. I didn't have to sell anything. And I thought, well, how can you build a business? You can't sponsor and you can't sell. Well, Dennis sent me a couple of videos, and I went through the videos, and I got, yeah, that was good. I got fairly excited. And then I thought I'd go through the compensation plan, which was what it was then. And going through that, I could actually see how it worked. And I got excited. And lucky enough, I just had my pension paid in. I had no savings, but I had my pension paid in just before Christmas. And I got so excited, I joined. But when I joined, I pressed the button to pay, done that, nothing happened. So I pressed it again. Silly me, I paid twice. From that day on, I was totally committed. I totally loved it. I got so excited, but my confidence had gone, and I didn't want to go back to the people who had had him on businesses before, because it never really worked with them. And a guy called Mark Yarnell I used to know, and he said, it's easier to give birth than raise the dead. So, yeah, so I've been working it. I haven't been very, very successful. I haven't advertised at all. I've used what do you call, you know, sort of people I know, chatting to them, doing this, doing that. But I built it. I sponsored 16 people. I brought in 16 people, and they got a team of 50. I'm quite happy. And this is a true story now, about a month ago, my confidence came back. And now I'm ready to go. I would like to say the thing I was in for 2 years within limp mode. If you've got a motor car and the motor car sort of goes down, goes into limp mode, and you're going like that, and that was me for 2 years. So this company, I mean, I've never seen one like it. It's honest, it's transparent, totally transparent. I joined quite a few rooms, and everybody's helped me in those rooms, even though I don't belong to them. Marty has always been there for me if I needed him. So is Red Redfern, Mike Ellis, and Dan. It was a great opening when they started up, and I sent their videos all over the place. Yeah, I mean, in 30 years, I've never seen an opportunity like it. It's clean, it's nice, it's open, it's transparent, it's totally legal, and you can't lose. I mean, you pay $97, you got 7-day to have a look at the business when it launches. If you don't like it, you can get your $97 back. So it's a totally no-brainer. What else can I say? Yeah, it's just one big happy family, and I'm really, really pleased to be there. Thanks.
Thanks, Stuart. That was amazing. Thank you very much. I'm glad I got to finally see you. Does anybody else have anything? I'm sure somebody does. Unmute yourself, Lauren.
Yes, Marty.
Oh, somebody said something. Stephen? Yeah, go, Steve.
Yes. Yes. Hi, Marty. Thank you. Thank you for letting me in. I hope everybody's having a lovely holiday. Yes, my story. I've been here now for almost 2.5 years. Back in August 2018. So I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of Onpassive, and basically, it's not something that I'd been doing. You know, I haven't been in network marketing. Not much. I had a few dabbles here and there and never did anything. But basically, I started off in my working career as an engineer apprentice, and I went along with that for quite a few years till I realised that all my friends were going out and enjoying themselves as young men, as you do, and I couldn't afford to do so. So I thought, no, I need to be out there enjoying myself, and I sort of gave that up. And in my particular area in the UK, the industries was either the car industry, which was building cars. I don't know if any of you know the Del Boy machine, which is the Reliant Robin, a well-known TV series in the UK, Only Fools and Horses. That's where we made them. Well, I couldn't get in there. It's like gold just to try and get in there. So the only other option was to go down the mines, which was coal mining. So that was another challenge as well to get down there, because, you know, everybody wanted to go because the money was fantastic. More than 3 times, you know, the average of what people were getting. Obviously, because it was a dirty, dangerous job. Anyway, unbeknown to me, my dad come to me one day. He says, you know, your Uncle Len is the training officer down the coal mines. I says, really? He says, yeah. He says, well, get me in. So there you go. There I go. I'm down the pit within a week. And funnily enough, I absolutely loved it. Lasted 20 years there. So that was pretty much me. And I would still be there even to this day, to be honest with you. But as the UK government wanted, was coal was not viable anymore. It was going to the nuclear, wind power, whatever, but not coal. They deemed it too expensive and all the rest of it. So I'd already moved one pit. They shut my local pit, which was local to me, about a couple of miles up the road, and they transferred me to another one. And I could see the way it was going. You know, like I said, coal was not going to be the be-all and end-all. And they were starting to shut pit by pit. And of course, I'm starting to get worried now. Well, what the hell am I going to do if they do shut this pit? Well, lo and behold, after the moving, I had 3 years at the next pit, and that was coming to close as well. Luckily, I could have gone to another one, but I thought, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm not travelling even further than what I was doing. And they offered such a good redundancy package. I thought, it's time to go. They're not going to keep these pits open any longer. It's going downhill. So I decided to take the money and run, if you like. But my thoughts were, here I am, an ex-coal miner. What am I going to do? I have no skills whatsoever in the outside world as such. All right, I was good down a mine. I could drive a machine and whatever I could do, but it was no good on the surface. And of course, the main thing as well was the fantastic salary that I was on. I thought, there's no way I'm going to get this kind of salary. And this is what led me to what became an obsession, was I need to be in business. I have the money, I'll buy a franchise, I'll get a business. That'll give me the sort of income that I need to live on, you know, rather than doing the 9 to 5 and getting pittance, because it would have been totally heartbreaking, to be honest with you, to go and earn pittance, you know, working 9 till 5 or whatever. So that was the route I was taking. Well, unbeknown to me, this was 1991. I remember it well. And the reason I remember it well, because unbeknown to me, the wife was having an affair and she decided that the grass was green on the other side and that off she goes. So here I am, November it was actually, 1991, remember it well. She clears off, leaves me at home with the two kids. The kids at the time was 13 and 11, 13-year-old daughter and 11-year-old son. So there I am with a large chunk of redundancy in the bank and can't spend it, do business, do anything really, because I'm got to get domesticated. And as it turned out, you know, I got pretty good at being house husband, if you like, you know, washing and ironing and doing all the things that a woman does, if you like. No. Anyway, so I got pretty good at that, and I got the kids settled, and life goes on as it does. And it never went out of my mind. I thought, well, I can't go back to work and do, you know, I'm just not going to get the money I'm been accustomed to. So I went back to business again, because that was, you know, it's sort of in my blood. I thought, I've got to do business. I want to do business. I always wanted to be in business anyway, you know. And this big chunk of money was sort of giving me the vehicle to do so. Well, many, many years later, I'm now 62. We're talking, what, then I was in my 40s, 22 years, and I've spent more money than anyone can care to mention, as probably a lot of you know. You just, you know, spend, but never, ever get anything in return. And it wasn't until after trying a few offline businesses, actually, I did wanted to get me a bit of pittance here and there, but nothing fantastic. I was good with computers. I thought, I can do this online. Because the one thing that really struck me was you need to be a good salesman. If you haven't got the sales skills, you haven't got anything. You know, you need to come across and sell. And everything, you know, whatever it may be, needs to be sold. And no, that wasn't for me. I just cannot sell. It's an art, it's a skill, whatever. It's hard. So I thought, maybe get online. You know, you can sell, but you're behind a computer screen. You're not. Although you are selling, if you like, but you're not seeing and all the rest of it. So hence the network marketing comes along. I thought, hey, this sounds easy. It is, isn't it? Oh yes, it certainly is. Yeah, they give you all these shiny products, don't they? And pay this, pay that, and get the autoresponder at $90 a month, and you're spending more money than, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. And and I sort of gave up. I thought, nah, I'm going back. And I did go back, but it never left me. I went back to warehouse work, actually, and picking and packing whatever products for this do-it-yourself chain. And I was still online doing, you know, little bits and bobs, but spending more money than I was earning. Well, anyway, I had a guy, name's John Keelick. He was running a company called Daily Net Pay, still running now, as a matter of fact. And he introduced me to Onpassive. Not that I was looking, because like I said, I gave up, and I had joined him on a previous occasion. And anyway, he sent me these two videos. And, well, videos. It was MP4 videos, actually, but it was just a guy talking. Well, I listened to him, and I'll never forget the day. I even remember it now. He says, hello, my name's Ash. I'm your friend. And I was hooked. The way he came across, the way he was speaking to me, he talked to me like my dad. Seems I've known him for years. Of course, I listened to the first one, I listened to the second one. And I thought, yeah, this is it. This is something. This is definitely. And I just knew. It's something that clicks, the light bulb went off, whatever you want to call it, but I just knew. And I joined straight away, August 2018. It's been a long 2.5 years. I've seen a lot of changes. It's been absolutely fantastic. I never missed a webinar since that day. Whenever Ash is talking, I'm there. In fact, he's on at 10:30 tonight, I do believe, in the Indian webinars, and that's going to be 3:30 AM for me, but I might, depends how many beers I have later. But yeah, that's sort of my story. Anybody that's looking, you just got to get in. For $97, you just got to get in. No marketing, just be in it. You'll win it. That's what we say. We're in it to win it. Thank you very much. Been a pleasure.
Thanks, Steve. That was good. Lauren, you're next, and then we'll go to Mo. Okay, Mo? Let Lauren go first. Hello, Lauren.
Everyone. Wow, this is a big webinar. Thank you, Marty. I wanted to also thank Mike. I thought that was one of your best mini synopsis. And then Mike Hord, thank you for having this. I know we urged you not to see your friends to do this, so thank you so much for giving up your day and not spending it with your friends. A little bit about me. I was in television and did sports marketing with all the Bay Area teams when I came to San Francisco from New England, Susie, not too far from where you are. And came out here with my 3 kids as a single parent, raised them, and had a disastrous second marriage, unfortunately. Yes, smart women do fall in love with bad people, and he wiped me out. And then right after that, I had a brain tumor and was disabled for 7 years because of my epilepsy. So sorry, some of you I've had to turn off because you have flashing lights. But when they changed my medication last year, and all of a sudden I could do better and had better cognitive. And so I went back to work. Yes, at 65, you can go back to work. And I started doing sales and marketing. So in my career, I had also gone to Google and was reselling for Google when the brain tumor hit. So I'd only been with them for about 6-7 months. And so I did some nonprofit volunteering, helped build a nonprofit from the UK and US to 3 others. Went from 5,000 on Facebook to 5 Facebook pages, 100,000 hits a month on the other nonprofit. But I didn't want to just be a volunteer. I wanted to do a little bit more work in between my TV jobs. I had wanted to do residual income because I thought, TV's one-on-one. Yeah, you make good money, but it's not going to last. And then I had been wiped out, so I was rebooting, if you will, and I needed something residual. Well, that's one-on-one, and it's small. And I wasn't like the kids that were in life insurance selling. I was a senior in my 50s. So I went back to TV and went to Google and was, who's that? Steve? So anyway, I wanted to, I've been doing this, and finally I got in touch with some of the people that I hadn't been in touch with for 7 years. I'd been totally absent. And I got in touch with Tom Garino from PG&E, which is our electric company in the Bay Area and power supply. And I hadn't seen him for a while. He's a community affairs manager for 3 counties in the Bay Area. So he's got a pretty big job. Anyway, I reached out to him. He said, hey, Lauren, you have to sign up for this and go to this webinar tonight. So what did Lauren do? Tom said, do it. I did it. So unlike some of you that have been like searching or didn't take it right away, I was in because Tom said so. Then I went to the first meeting and I was so confused. I said, what the heck did I just do? But I came back to the next meeting and Mike Hord and Dean and Marty were in it. And then I understood it. And then it all clicked. So in my nonprofit marketing and chief marketing officer positions, I use about $2,000 worth of software a month. And one of them is just $856 a month. And then you add the Zooms when we do webinars, and that's another $550. So we don't get as big as you are, Marty, and Ash on these. But I was like, okay, so I wanted residual income. I started hearing how it could happen. I started understanding what the software was going to be, and this light bulb really went off. So besides my own, I also gifted my children and my grandchildren, and I brought some friends on as well. Not as much as I could because I've been full-time with this new nonprofit. But at first I just wanted the residual. And then when I started to understand that that was really going to fill my pipeline and I could be full again, and my children and my grandchildren, I started realizing if I can build wealth, I can give it away. I can help other nonprofits. I can help other people. I can help feed people, educate people. I can change the world bigger than me in my small area. And that became really exciting to me. And one of the other things that I will just say to anybody that's in it or considering, it's Zoom, but I've developed some really intense, wonderful relationships. Mike, Viviana, Marty, Mike Ellis and Dan, not so much because they're not on sometimes late when we're still going. But I've just really enjoyed everyone. You listen to Ash and you know it's real because he is so sincere. And you know, Marty talks to Ash all the time, and I trust Marty, and I trust Tom, and I trust the other Mike, and I trust the other Mike. And so I've really learned that this is not just a wealth building, but a community building where we can change the world. And I think that's where we all want to be. We want to have that opportunity to do that. So I guess that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Get in here.
Thanks, Lauren. I told you were a superstar. Mo, it's all yours, Mo.
Hi everyone. I am one of 5 Brits here, I can see. And the 5 Brits who are here, we all joined in 2018. So that's nice we all joined within a few weeks of each other. And I think Steve Albrighton has the distinction of being the first one from Britain to join. So it's good to see all of them here today. My general background is of training and teaching, and I've always had a second job. I've been a driving instructor doing that as a second job. Then in the mid-90s, a friend of mine from work came and showed me how to build a basic website using HTML. And within days, I was building simple websites. At the time, I was doing direct mail, selling audio cassettes and CDs of some product that I had basically published. So I used the basic website to sell those. So that was the start of my online career. Then I went off to Russia to teach there, got married there. I was there for a few years. Unfortunately, my wife died in a car accident. That was the time I came back to Britain in 2008. And we all remember the economic crisis at that time. So I couldn't go into my regular work. I got into the security business and started going back online. While I was abroad, I was also still doing a multi-level marketing business with a UK company, which was doing the UK lottery as a syndicate. So I had kept my hand in. And so back in the UK, I was always finding something new on the internet to do. As Marty would say, going from one shiny object to another. Some were good, some not so good. Like lots of other people, I've lost some small amounts of money. The largest amount I lost was $15,000 with Crypt Trade Capital. And that was just about a year before I came across Onpassive. The person who sponsored me into Onpassive, his name is Chuck Klingenpeel from California. We had independently joined a sports app business in the US. That took like 18 months to develop. So when it did finally launch, it wasn't as good as we thought. So the way I met my sponsor was seeing each other's ads on Facebook. And from time to time, we would introduce new opportunities to each other. He happened to send me, well, he asked me if I was interested in looking at a new business. I said, okay, yes. So he passed my name on to Ash Mufareh at the time. Ash, at that time, Ash used to send an email to people, and first thing that interested me was that simply his name. He wasn't a regular, typical American. So that got me intrigued, and the 2 links on there to the 2 famous videos people talk about. The first thing I noticed on there was that compared to the way Ash is now, very confident and boisterous, joker, etc. At that time, he seemed quite nervous to me. He had a Catherine Hepburn type of quavering voice, but like everybody else says.
But I went to the right of the screen, and all I had was view.
When you actually listen to Ash, you assume you could understand him, which some people find obviously or initially find it difficult. I understood everything he was saying, and because I had been in, I'd done direct sales, direct mail and internet marketing and email marketing. So I understood everything that he was saying. Like everybody else normally points out about all the different packages you have to buy each month to be able to do all that. So I understood all that and literally joined the same day, like a lot of other people have done when they first come across it. I've seen not Future World, that's something else I was involved in. I've seen Onpassive develop over the last 2.5 years. And initially it was meant to be a network marketing company. You know, there's no secret about that, because Ash had been previously involved in network marketing, and that was what made him decide that because there wasn't anything around, or they didn't last, they let him down so many times that he wanted to develop something that would work. But we've all seen it developed over the last 2.5 years, and it is evolved into what is now a total internet marketing company. Now, I just want to point out 1 or 2 things that some people don't always understand from the questions people ask. For example, when we tell people that every day you'll get a new page, some people seem to think, you know, you're going to get a different page every day and the previous one's going to go away. No, you're going to get a new page, capture page every day, coded to you. So if we take the basic figure of 400,000 people that we have now, you imagine every day a new page will be created for those 400,000 people. So every day is an addition to what was there previously. Now, if you take that over 365 days, that comes to 146 million pages. So that's just over 1 year. Now that will just carry on. And of course, as more people come in, that number, Ash has mentioned that in the past, in the early days, how that would get into the billions, and they would be there all the time on the internet. So you can imagine what that will do to our Alexa rankings. Like everybody else, I am looking forward to the new year. We are now so close to everything coming together. So we just all need to hang in there. Basically, that's all I have to say at the moment.
Thanks, Mo.
Yeah, thank you, Mo. Marty, Marty, I want to say that Carla Carter is on here, and she is named Mike Ward. We've been trying to get her name changed, so I just wanted to let you know that she is on. And so many other people. I see Jeffrey Morlock. I just see so many people. This is really cool. But I just wanted you to know that that's not Mike Ward. That's Carla Carter.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, I figured that. And I knew you weren't Carla either, so we're good to go. Anyway, if anybody else got anything, we got time here. Carla does, unless that's Mike Horde. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Carla.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute my. Could be worse. But anyway, here's my story. Okay. In 2016, I am a leadership and change management consultant, coach, and trainer. And in 2016, my major client, who had been my major client for 8 years and was at least half my income, had a heart attack. And he came back about 2.5 months later and called me into his office. And he said, Carla, he said, I'm letting you know first because you are going to be hurt the worst. And I said, what's going on? And he goes, you know, I have a disabled son. I said, yes, I do. And because I knew his son. And he said, this heart attack that I had is serious enough that I am going to have to quit. And I'm going to have to quit quickly. And because you're not an employee, you're my consultant, you're going to be hurt worse. And I just wanted you to know. Well, I'd never had space or time or lack of income in my life up to that point in time. And I had 2 kids. So I said, oh, okay. Love you, David. His name was David. I'm still in touch with him. But I knew I had to do something different. So in my business, it would take at least 6 months or more to find a client like that, probably a year. So I didn't have that kind of time. And so I joined a business where I met Mike Horde. And I met Cindy Lee King, who can't be on with us today, because they were mentors in that business. Now, I lucked out and I was able to get another project and another client pretty quickly. So I want to talk to the people who already have jobs, okay? Because what I found was in joining Mike and Cindy Lee, I didn't have the time to do network marketing well. Okay, I didn't have the time to be available during the day when I'd be in meetings or whatever with my basically what was a full-time job, even though I was self-employed. So sometimes I would succeed in that business with Mike and Cindy. Sometimes I wouldn't. Overall, it didn't work out well for me. So I kind of was convinced that really this kind of business was not for me, that I needed to stick with what I did. But then when Cindy Lee called me about Onpassive, and I called Mike, and then Mike and I linked in with Marty and Mike and Dan, you know, I could do nothing but get really excited. So I have been in Onpassive at least 2 years. I can't even tell you how long it's been now. But what attracted me, there were several things that attracted me to Onpassive, and I think you need to hear them. One, I wouldn't have to be available, you know, all the time to talk to people, you know, because I can't, okay? And so the fact that they were going to market for me, you know, I could follow up in the evenings after work, you know, that kind of thing, you know, made it so much more manageable for someone like me with the dreams that I have, okay? And my dream is to retire and be able to do whatever I want when I'm ready, okay? And right now I can't do that. I have to keep working. So that was one thing that attracted me. But the other thing that attracted me in the business that I had been in with Cindy Lee and Mike, I pulled up my spreadsheet just now before coming on today. I had at least a dozen different programs that had a dozen different sign-ins and a dozen different passwords that all had to be paid for separately, that all had to be organized in a way that could approach and market, communicate, and get feedback from people. So when I heard that Onpassive was going to have all of that in one place, I went, oh my God. I remembered how much work that took me to keep up with all that and do all that. And, and so it like made total sense. This whole product suite made total sense. Number 3, Ash is, I don't know what word to use. He's so authentic. Let me use the word authentic because I do like to use that word about myself. But he's so authentic that he really meant what he was saying, because that matters to me. I mean, while Cindy, Mike, Dan, all of us all agree this is the cat's meow, whoever the leader is so crucial to success. And you knew he was going to stick with it. You knew he was going to do it right. I'm also a quality expert as one of my other competencies. And he wasn't going to do it until it was right. So I knew it was maybe going to be a long wait, but I didn't care, because I'm not that old. I mean, I'm not going to retire right now. It's like, this is the right guy. This is the right product. This is the right set of people. This is the right place to be. Now, the only 4th point that I want to make is that I wanted to reach out to those of you who are working. Mike Horde works. I work. We know that that's why we're here on Saturday. We know that juggling is an art. And the fact that we have help with that juggling, the kind of help we have in this community, is so important and phenomenal to success. And so I hope, but I know because of the beta tests that Mike and Marty have been through, I know this is going to be amazing. And so I want to encourage everybody to think about what you join, who you join with, how you're going to do it, what kind of help you're going to get, and just be sure to make the great decision that the rest of us have made and join us.
Fantastic, Carla. Thank you so much. Very good.
Marty.
Somebody said Marty.
Yeah, Key.
Oh, go ahead, Key. Glad to see you, buddy.
How's everybody? Top of the morning to ya. I think I'm in Britain. Hey guys, it's Key Wendell. I am a working stiff, so I haven't been able to get on a lot of these meetings and stuff. In fact, I'm sitting on about 3 hours of sleep and got to go back to the hospital in a couple hours. My background, I'm a respiratory therapist, registered respiratory therapist for 31, 32 years. And I just wanted to come on and thank Red and Ash the other day. Man, you guys, you really humbled me, and it's something to hear somebody speak of you just for what you do. And I'm with this pandemic, guys, it's been really hard. Medical staff is really struggling. I can't tell you how many, and I won't tell you how many people I saw die last night, but I did go to a delivery. I wear many hats in the hospital. Anywhere there's a bed, I don't care if you're a 22-week-old baby to a 102-year-old person. Nurses and doctors call me because somebody can't breathe, and I do what I do. And I'm fortunate that I trained at a very, 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 very good facility in Eastern North Carolina, my alma mater, East Carolina University. I trained at the medical center there, and I have traveled the United States doing what I do. I've lived in the Caribbean. I was very fortunate to be born in a military family. My father was an Air Force fighter pilot during the Cold War, and I do a lot to support some of those charities and foundations that support children and college funds and such alike. But anyway, I just wanted to bring to attention what you have a hold of, because as you can tell, I'm not somebody that gets on the computer and does a bunch of YouTube videos. And I did a video after talking with Jeffrey Morlock, who Jeffrey doesn't live that far from me. Hey, Jeff, good to see you, buddy. And I kind of parlayed what I do with the birth of a premature baby and how much problems it causes, and the expense and the man hours to make the child survive. And I did that video before I even knew there was going to be a competition. And that's not why I did the video. I just did a video because there was a lot of talk about launch. And I was like, guys, we don't want this thing to be premature. And I took my experience and I kind of tried to put the two together, and Lord behold, Ash really liked the video. And I was actually out at Kitty Hawk working on another video, and one of my sponsors, I have several, Fred Longswogger, called me. He said, man, how many views does your video have? I said, I don't know, a few hundred. He goes, you're getting like 500 views an hour. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, look at it. So in the course of about 2.5 days, this non-YouTuber got 100,000 views to a video he did about the birth of Catmo. And that's what you got your hands on, guys. Ash, like Mike and Marty and everybody's been saying, with a flip of a switch, he can drive traffic. And he drove 100,000 views to my video in 2.5 days. And when I saw that and when that happened, I was like, man, this is going to be phenomenal. And the more I hear and the more I hear, that's why I've got this background right here. Every time I hear Ash, I'm blown away. And you know, that's the reality of it. He's got skills and has put together a team that is going to drive traffic and has created more ways for us to get paid than I think 90% of you even realize. I think Jeff's got a good handle on it. I think Marty does, and Mike Ellis and Dan Street and all the guys, and Dr. Bill Williams. I love your videos, Doc. But anyway, I'm going to lay back down and get a little bit more sleep. I just wanted to come on and say, hey, I am here, but I have to go back to the hospital at 5 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the East Coast here now. So thanks for the opportunity, Marty, and appreciate you guys, and anything I can do for anybody in Eastern North Carolina, I'm here. You can find me online or through the back office. But thanks, guys. Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, Key.
Thanks very much, Key.
Thanks for what you do too, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Hey, I just
Marty,
do what I do, bro.
Thanks, Key. Marty, could I just say a few words, please?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is Marina Fabric from South Africa. Usually I'm like in high spirits and what have you, but today I'm just feeling a little bit down. I think it's probably got to do with the Christmas season and not really being able to spend the time with your family because we don't live in the same state, or we just, life happens and people get, your children grow up and they get older and they get married, and all of a sudden you got to start booking appointments. But what I wanted to touch base on, we know that Onpassive is phenomenal and that it's really going to change lives. But I wanted to just go, about 2 years ago, I started doing a course for financial freedom, the debt-free journey, which I got into, and it was really, really great. And we were able to, save up. Dave Ramsey is a Christian and says that you need to have a 6-month emergency fund, which we had in place because before COVID, things were okay. And my partner was working, earning a good salary as a program manager. I pretty much just worked online and helped him out because we didn't need that extra income for our, our living standards and what have you. And it was great. we're able to save up the 6-month emergency fund. And we thought, well, this is awesome, because when the washing machine or the tumble dryer or the fridge breaks down, or you need to go to the dentist or something, you know, these little emergency issues that come up, you need to have that set aside. And then there, over and above that, you need to have at least 3 to 6 months living expenses. We managed to save the 6 months living expenses. And when COVID hit in the beginning, it wasn't a disaster. It was just more like an inconvenience, you know, because we had that money set aside, thank goodness. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But nobody knew how long this was going to go on for. And over the last 3 months, we've literally run dry with no income. In South Africa, people are not hiring. You know, everyone said, we'll see what happens in January. You can't get work. And then everything I tried online was just an epic fail. I'm not a recruiter when it comes to network marketing, but what I wanted to share with you today, you know, the importance of having an emergency fund and just knowing that we are going to be earning residual income with Onpassive. My daughter, who didn't want to talk to me, both my daughters, they were upset with me because I live, eat, and breathe Onpassive, and they didn't want, you know, I just couldn't help myself. Every time I got on the phone with them, I would, you know, talk about something that happened with Onpassive and how exciting it was. And they literally got upset with me. And it's like, we don't want to hear it anymore, Mom. You're not earning money from them. You're not making any money. And, you know, all we hear from you is about Onpassive. So I was like, oh gosh. And it actually, it broke my heart, because that was like, that's my life. I've got to listen to what's happening in yours. I thought, you know, it's a give and take. Listen to mine as well. But all of that set aside, I managed to, one of my Christmas wishes was that my relationship with all my children would, you know, just come back together, that I can feel like a mom and feel like a loved mom again. And we had the best conversation on Christmas, 2-hour video call, which was awesome. So, and then with my other daughter, about an hour. But the one that I was really more concerned about was my daughter in Cape Town. And she just said, Mom, it just feels like you haven't really been there for me. You know, I've also gone through stuff and broken up with my boyfriend and, you know, had all this financial situation. And you didn't really know about it, because I didn't want to tell you, because all I, you know, when I phone you, all you talk about is Onpassive. And I didn't realize that I was actually pushing them away with it. But today she phones me after, because now she feels okay, she can speak to me. And she phones me in tears. And she says, Mom, I don't know what to do. Shadow, her rescue dog, got knocked over. She took her dog for a walk on the beach. And as they were like walking towards the car, another car rode over him. And he's a beautiful dog. I mean, he was like my grandchild, because I don't have any grandchildren yet. And she sent me pictures and in a state. And I couldn't help her. You know, and it was just such a feeling of like, oh, you know, I as her mother, and she's finally turning to me and come back to me, knowing my situation that I don't. But she reached out to me, and thank goodness we managed to make a plan. She needed $250. It's like almost 4,000 rand or whatever in rands. And we managed to make a plan. You know, the family came together and got that money to her. But what I was saying is that that is so important. You know, we need to, once you start earning, be sure that, you know, we're not going to make millions overnight. This is a residual income that's going to grow. But I just know that this sort of situation is not going to happen again. I'm never, ever going to be in a situation where I've got to turn my daughter down, who can't, you know, can't go to the doctor firstly. She needed tetanus shot because the dog bit her out of anger. You know, was scared, and she was trying to help him, and he bit her 3 times on her arm. She's not even worried about herself. She was more worried about the dog, and I'm worried about both of them, you know. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I just know that this is going to, you know, next year, and as we roll out to the world and we start getting our customers signed up under us, our situation is going to be so different. So, you know, for those of you who are guests here, sign up, you know, don't think too much about it. You know, there is a lifetime money back guarantee, and you can change your life. You can change your situation. You never know what life throws at you, and you need to be prepared, you know. So yes, it is the festive season. It is a time of remembrance. We reflect back on the year. And it's been, as much as it's been probably the worst year a lot of us could have gone through, it's also been a year of change. And year where we've had to look at. I always believe in divine intervention. God knew exactly what I needed. He placed the right people in my life. I managed to get presented with the Onpassive opportunity in September last year, and it's just been phenomenal. Everyone here is just got such a wonderful heart, and everyone's got a story. We've all got our story, and the one isn't, when you listen, you think of your story, then you hear someone else's and you think, who am I to complain? And Lauren, sorry, I didn't realize, I never even thought about the epilepsy with my Christmas lights. I did switch them off. If you have still got my video turned off, I actually don't even know how you do that. But, there's just such heart for Onpassive. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for sharing your story, and know that this too shall pass. Whatever we're going through now, it's not forever. This too shall pass, and it is going to pass. We're right at the end. We're at the cusp of launching, of going into our soft launch, and we're going to look back at this and think we were so impatient. But you know what? God has not left us. He has got us in the palm of his hand. He's taking us through this journey. We all need a testimony. I don't think there's a single person that I've ever met that said, oh, my life has been awesome. Everything I did was like, I was born with a silver spoon and I had no issues in my life. Whether you've got money or not, people have issues, So just enjoy the journey, know that you are part of something huge. We are going to be making history. And it really, really is. This is that blessed hope that we've been looking for. This is going to, put you in a situation where you can help not just your family. Like my situation now, I can't even help myself, never mind my family. And it kills me because I have got a giving heart. Whatever I have, I would give. And I just never even had to give, which was, it just made me really sad. I don't ever want to be in that situation again. And I know I won't. And I want to tell you all, the guests that are watching, founders that are here, that might still just have that doubt of, is my life ever going to come right? Yes, it will. It is going to come right. Our financial situation will improve. Whatever you think, like Michael Williams and Ash was saying, whatever your number is, whatever it is that you need to earn on a monthly basis to survive, to live that life that you've always wanted to take the holidays, you will be able to do it. Whether it's $500 a month, $5,000 a month, $100,000 a month, whatever the case is, you're going to be earning it eventually, So just put your number out there, believe that you're going to exceed it. And if not this, then what? So if not that, it's going to be more. And know that this is literally a dream come true for so many of us. We're going to wake up and it's going to be reality one day. And very, very soon. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you so much for all your stories. I love this. I absolutely love it, because you realize that you're not alone, and you realize that there's so many people with good hearts that just want to do better and have to do better. There's no choice. We have no choice but to go up with Onpassive. So thank you, Mike Hort, for putting this together. I absolutely love it. The initiative that the founders are taking just to get people together, and the interviews that are going on and people sharing their stories, it's phenomenal. You don't get this in any other business. Well, I haven't experienced it in any business, never mind whether it was an online marketing or business, a corporate business that you're working for. You don't get this sense of belonging, a sense of family, and knowing that we're all going to be so successful, which is great. So praise the Lord for that. We really are. And thank you. I just love seeing the smiles and it's just awesome. Love you all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marina. Marina's a superstar, as all of you can see.
I want to add to that, Marty. I want to say thank you, Marina. And I just want to throw a little something in here. It's like last Saturday, we had over 1,500 people on our call. Today, we're holding right at about 435, 436. I was on the call in South Africa. They had over 1,700 people on the call. This calls, it reminds me of years ago, I went to a playoff game in the NFL, and it was the San Francisco 49ers and the Giants. And the score was 7-3. And nobody left the stadium until the game ended. And that's what I see on these calls. It's like people get on here and it doesn't matter how long we go. If it's 2 hours, it's 3 hours, it's 4 hours. It's like that game. We're getting something out of this. And the other thing that I see in Onpassive, and I've seen this over the last, several months, is the people who come to these calls and they get on our webinars, they get on these hangouts, the next day or right after that, their team grows. That day, the next week. Those are the people who are growing teams within Onpassive. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there. And back to you, Marty.
Thanks, Mike. If you put your hand up, I can call on you. I see Neil's got his hand up, and so does Eric. One of you go first, whoever unmutes quicker, I guess.
Marty?
Oh, BA beat you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I joined September 18th, 2018. So it's the first time I've been on here where I've been able to speak to all you people that do this thing. I want to thank you for that part of it. And I have a question. I'm not sure if I can do it in this format. I'll save it for a minute, because what I want to share about is the importance of being on these calls. Because, and don't let this sound negative, but in the beginning when I got on here, I've been through the same story a lot of people have, getting burnt by stuff, trying to learn new information. I've spent thousands of dollars trying to learn online. I don't know how to do it. I probably got the smallest team in the group. But during that beginning process, I went through that stage of, oh crap, here we go again, same old, when something would change, right? Here we go again. And I allowed that mindset to affect me. And that's just because of that old memories. Those memories would come up and go, oh, here we go. They said this, they didn't do that. And I forgot to look at that big picture. And by being on these, what changed that mindset the most, because I'm a very positive, upbeat guy to have been my whole life, but it's doing what I'm doing today, is listening in. And like when I first saw Ash, he's way different today. And he's probably the same person. I'm different today. So I've been able to see that the love that's been talked about on this webinar. You people that put all this time and thing and haven't made a dime is incredible, because you see that vision of what's going on and what that does. Biggest thing for me, I've been through my trials and tribulations, is one of my favorite words is hope. It's an acronym for my company, actually, helping other people evolve. And it's a passion of mine. And I really believe that this Onpassive is going to be able to enable me to do that. And so if you're new on this thing, join, but just keep listening to these people that are on these panels. Because when Marty and Mike Ellis and Dr. Bill, when they get on here and get excited, because Ash has an evil streak of saying crap that keeps me up thinking at night. It ruins my sleep. But when those people that really understand what he's talking about, they get excited, they lose sleep. I'm like, oh my God, because I don't really understand a lot of this stuff, but it makes sense. So I watch the news now or TV and I'm going, they need Onpassive. God, don't launch yet, because we got this. I caught myself saying, don't launch yet. I'm like, what the hell? I think I said that like 6 months ago or something. I almost fell out of the chair. Don't launch yet. I want to do this. So that came from listening to all you people. Put your time and your effort into this thing, and I so appreciate what you put in. My question is, it's about the AI. I've never in my life ever done any business overseas. Worldwide, it's appealing to me. But so with what I understand about the AI and the tracker, they'll know I'm here in this little spot in Oregon, But hell, I'd love to have some business in Australia and go write it off as a business. So will there be a way to set stuff up when those leads come in that artificial intelligence going to know I'm not in Australia? So that's kind of my question. Will we be able to set those perimeters, or kind of how that works? And if this is not the platform for that, I totally understand. And
no, it's okay. You will know where people are coming from, like what state. I think it'll even narrow it down to cities. But an IP tracker can tell you exactly where that person came from. You know their name,
right,
but you also
can I purposely get people from Australia or Japan?
I don't know, because they're going to be marketing for you, BA, and they're going to market wherever it's the strongest. You might find that the webinar service is really, really strong in Australia, but not so much in the UK, whatever, an example. And they have 50 different ones, so it's going to constantly be going on. The difference with AI is it doesn't sweat. It doesn't have to think. It's automatic, milliseconds. It will get down to the point where this ad works good at 5:30 in Finland. This ad works very good at noon in this country. This ad doesn't work here, but this image does. It's going to constantly think. We train AI to think. And through marketing, because it's thinking, it does all that for you at a split second.
So some leads from Finland could show up on my.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Global,
Marty, can I just expand on that a little bit to give BA even more information on it? My understanding as well is, if you have your own business, we'll say if you've got a sewing shop in a state in the USA, if that is approved by Onpassive and you set it up within Onpassive, you can actually bespoke it to people only in your area. This is for a standalone business.
Right.
As far as marketing Onpassive is concerned, you will be in basically an auto rotator within the Onpassive platform. So you'll be getting customers coming into your Onpassive business from all over the world. You won't even, you don't have to do anything. It's all automated. And also, as Mo said earlier, every single day, your Onpassive website that will be changed every single day. All the information will be changed every day. You won't have to lift a finger and it will look so cool. It'll be automated and extremely professional. But if you do have your own business and it is approved and marketed through the Onpassive platform, then you will have the ability to bespoke it just to your state. Because if you've got a sewing shop, for instance, in Nashville, you only want to really attract people in Nashville to your sewing shop. So you'll be able to tick boxes to get that marketing traffic just for your local area. I hope that helps.
That helped a lot, and probably won't sleep again tonight, Red. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, dude.
Okay, Marty, it's okay. I go next.
Who is it? Yeah, Eric, it's your turn, buddy.
Okay. I was thinking about for a long time after Marty asked if I wanted to be on a panel what I was going to say, and I was going to give my story. Well, I'll tell you, my story isn't much different than anybody else. I've been in and out of marketing for a lot of years. I go out, and then I would think about my situation and things I want to do, and so I would get back in. And then I would go out because I wouldn't have any success. Well, everybody, we've all done that, so I'm not going to spiel about that too much. But I remember that what I decided I was going to do is I was going to learn how to market, and then I was going to find out what I was going to market. Well, that's the day I met my buddy Arthur, and everybody knows Arthur Gawley. He was telling me about a platform that he joined that it was going to advertise for me and help me build a downline and different things like that. And I looked at Arthur and I said, Arthur, I appreciate your time, but I've heard this before. And come on, you know, that doesn't work. It's just another way for somebody to get my money. Well, I hung up with Arthur or got off message. I forget how we were conversing, but so something came to me. Jeffrey talks about it in his video about being not sure about it, but something just came over me. I knew I had to do this, and I think we've all had that moment. For some reason, we knew we had to be a part of Onpassive. And you could be a little skeptical. That's natural after all we all been through. But we all knew, came to that point, that we had to be part of this. And thank God that we did, because to miss this would truly be a tragedy. It really would. That's not a joke. That's not something I think everybody here would agree with that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about posture. We always heard about, as we were learning network marketing or any kind of marketing, that posture was important. Well, I never had any, because I'm part of the NFL club. We've all been part of that. And people say things to me like, well, how many things have you been in? Well, I wasn't going to say, because it'd been a lot. You never made any money. And that hurt, not because a lack of effort, but it was lack of knowledge. And we all have that posture if we don't know how to market. Well, we become part of a company that our leader is a master marketer, right? So through association, we've met other master marketers, and they're teaching us, and they're going to continue teaching us. And the day that we launch, or a week, month, 2 months later, every founder is going to earn a commission. And 97% of us never have earned a commission. Wow, is that going to change our posture? And I've always heard of coming from being the hunter to becoming the hunted. Man, when we get that first commission, and we could go back to people and say, oh, guess what? Yeah, I'm making money. You no longer are the hunter. You are the hunted. And thank God that we become part of Onpassive, because we will be the hunted. And I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful for that. And I just want to tell everybody here that I love you all. We've all been in this. I feel nothing but love in Onpassive. There's not like the competition that used to feel in network marketing where, yeah, you wanted everybody else to do good, but you wanted yourself to do better. Well, that's not the way it is here. There's a saying, the guy that started Golden Rule, he said, I want for myself, what I want for myself, I want for everyone. And I think everybody that I've met in Onpassive, everybody that's on this panel, everybody that's in this meeting right now, feels that way. What we want for ourselves, we want for everybody. And so God bless Onpassive and Ash Mufareh, and thank you so much for allowing me to speak today and be part of this panel. And I can't imagine my life without Onpassive. I don't want to. Thank God I don't have to. That's all I got to say.
Eric, thank you very much, buddy. That was beautiful. Neil, it's your turn, buddy.
Marty, thank you very much. Thank you. No, just listening to everybody there. It's amazing how we all seem to have gone on a similar journey when we've had similar experiences in the past, especially Steve and Stuart early on. I mean, for those of you who don't know me, I'm based near Manchester in the UK. My background, really, the first 20 years of my career was in mining. Was in mining engineering, so it's construction and engineering. I was a cost engineer, quantity surveyor. All that sort of changed in the mid-90s, as Steve said earlier on. So from being sort of still a relatively young guy, I had to diversify and look for other things, start to open up my mind. It's right what they say about your mind's like a parachute. If it opens, you've got half a chance. If it doesn't, good luck. So we're looking into different areas. In the last 20 years, I've been involved in different forms of internet marketing and network marketing. I've also done a little bit for film and TV production companies like Lauren earlier on. So it's amazing how we've all got something in common. And I've always sort of drifted towards service-driven businesses rather than product-driven. I think when a customer is asked or shown a catalogue or a portfolio of products, they can make a conscious buying decision as to whether they want to buy that product. I think in the world of telecoms or communications, and we're in the communications sector with what we're offering. You just take the one product there. We've talked about Zoom many times. Someone doesn't, if they're short of cash, they're not going to turn around and say, well, bit strapped for money this month, I'm not going to pay for Zoom. It doesn't happen. It's like your mobile phone contract, for instance. So they habitually use those services. And I think that's why we're in a great arena with what we've got here with the product portfolio. Someone somewhere is using the majority of these products or some of these products every single month. We've just gone through Christmas, the last few days, lots of churches and cathedrals all around the world have been having services. There was a news item yesterday over here. One of our biggest venues in the north of England is York Minster. And they normally have 1,000 people on one of their services around Christmas time. They had 100 people in there, all socially distanced. Now, they had a virtual platform, a virtual service going along on the back of it. They had 9,000 people on the platform. 9,000. So next year, when hopefully everything's back to normal and you've got a church full there, they're not going to back off on that virtual service. All it's done is it's fast-tracked the usage of the general public on a lot of these services that we're using. And that's just one service. And Ash couldn't possibly have known what was going to happen this year, 2 years ago. I think the marketplace is ripe. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think we're in a fantastic place. You're looking at anybody that's on here today who's obviously listening, keen to what Mike Ellis had to say earlier on with the presentation. If you're looking at this business, you've got to look at the numbers of founders. You know, we're approaching probably 400,000 founders now before the end of the year, which is next week. More than half of them have come on in the last 3 or 4 months. Let that sink in. That is phenomenal momentum. There's plenty of interest. And there'll be people looking at this business back in October who'll be thinking, have I missed the boat on this? Is it the right time? Is it the wrong time for me to join? Unbelievable. There is never a wrong time to join this business right up until launch. And it doesn't really matter to me whether it's next week, the week after, or the month after. It's when it's right and it's done properly and it's right to go to market, that's when we should go. And I feel quite strongly about that. But you know, I mean, we're all getting older. We go through different life experiences. Unfortunately, we make more mistakes. It's important to learn from them. You learn from your past. You learn from your mistakes. What I hope new people don't do is let the past and what they've been involved in the past cloud the judgment as to whether they should join this business or not. I think they need to put that past well and truly in the past. Your past should be a point of reference rather than a place of residence. And I think that's important as well, because opportunity only knocks so many times. And if you don't open that door, you've missed it. And that's really all I have to say. One of the things that I would say, there's a lot of great info out there at the moment. And if you look at some of the Q&As that went on in the last 7 to 10 days, the ones with Michael Williams and Ash, there's some great content on there. And one of the things that sort of I pricked up my ears with when Ash was talking about the possibility of us having banner advertising possibly on our websites that traffic is being driven to. If there's anybody on Leadership Council that can elaborate on that, that would probably be my question. Because I tell you what, if we get into sharing a little bit of advertising revenue from our websites, that is a completely different business altogether. Massive opportunity. So that's basically where I am at the moment, Marty. If anybody's got maybe a little bit of an answer to that question.
Thanks, Neil. Yeah, I mean, what I know is, you know, I've done those type of ads before, but if you had someone like Nike, Coca-Cola, or somebody else putting an ad on 500,000 customers' websites, and you can share in that revenue, 100%, Neil. That was the biggest thing I've heard in the last 2 months.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't lost on me, Marty.
Oh,
yeah.
It blew me away. I said, wow, I wonder if people are really paying attention to this. Now, Ash had mentioned something like that to me on the phone one time, but he never elaborated on it. And he's going to make it so that if you don't want it on your page, you don't have to. But if you don't put it on your page, you're crazy, because he's going to share the revenue with us, Neil. He's going to share what comes in from that. And I'll give you an example. I don't even know if I said it today. I can't remember what I did, but my granddaughter has a small iPad. It's not quite an iPad. It's something else. It's bigger, but and the advertisement on her pickup trucks, Chevy pickup trucks. Now, she's not going to buy a pickup no matter how good the ad is. She's 3 years old. But they're on every iPad at that age. Now, Chevy's paying for that. They don't realize that some of the hits they're paying for are on a little kid's iPad, right? And could you imagine Chevy coming up to Onpassive, Ash Mufareh, and say, hey, you got 1 million customers. We'd like to put this ad on. It would be like putting an ad on the Super Bowl every year. It's a big deal. Lauren knows this type of stuff. You know what it is, but I mean, people need to wrap their head around that. And that, I mean, the product's already big enough as it is, but that's one whole unicorn company by itself, my opinion. So yeah, it's big. It's
totally agree. Yeah.
We'll get more details on that as we go, but that's it's a big deal, big time. I see Kevin Rutledge has his hand up. Kevin, are you still there? Thanks, Neil. That was very good.
I'm here, buddy.
There you are.
Everybody, I'm Kevin. I'm coming to you from Illinois today and every day. Man, how cool is our company, huh? That's what I was thinking. Marty was talking about profit sharing, and that's kind of the thing that that caught my attention. That's when my light bulb moment happened. Man, there's just so much. I had to make notes so I can try to have some kind of make some kind of sense of this. But my stories, you guys tell my story. Every one of you, you know, you all tell my story, a little piece of it here and there. When Stuart was talking, I was just like, oh yeah, you know, heard all that before. And you know, that's a big reason why I'm here. I was to a point where I was about done. I was about fed up. You know, I just I got tired of all of it. I got tired of you know, seeing people around me fail. I got tired of you know everybody. I got so tired of hearing pyramid scheme. God, if I heard pyramid scheme one more time, I think I was going to strangle somebody. But I was real fortunate. About 10 or 12 years ago, I got started online, and you know, I've tried various things. I found some things that you know I could make money at, but I had to. It was all me. It was all my efforts, and I'm lazy, and that's why I'm here. My sponsor, guy I've been working with for you know 10 or 12 years now, really good guy. He put a lot of information in front of me, taught me a ton. I guess, I don't know, my short story would be I never was hurting bad enough to want to do the work or do enough of the work to make it work. And you know, I was just hoping, you know, I could, you know, send a couple of emails, you know, maybe make a video or two, you know, or write a page, you know, and then the money would start pouring in. And it doesn't work like that. I mean, Alan has been successful, very successful. And you can do this honestly and ethically. You don't have to be, you know, shifty or none of that stuff. but it takes time, and most people don't have the time, number one, or don't take the time. So that's why it doesn't work for a lot of people. That's why it didn't work for me. I found a company, Ash is, I've never seen anybody like him. I was like a lot of people when I first saw that video. I didn't know what Alan put in front of me, but because it came from Alan, I stuck in there. I feel Ash is a great man of integrity. I believe this company has a great level of transparency. I've never seen a level of transparency that I see here. Honesty like nothing else. I've never seen anything like this. This is nothing like I've ever seen. Keep hearing that all the time. It's because it's never been done before. I like to remember that I didn't have to be here. This is important to me. I didn't have to be. I don't know what I did to get this fortunate, but I'm glad I did it. Nobody drugged me in here. Like I said, I came in here because I'm lazy. Alan said, hey, here's something that's fully automated. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to lift a finger. That's what he likes to say. Sounds perfect for me. Sign me up. That's how we started, okay? And I didn't give it the attention that it deserved because of that, because, it was all totally new, and I've been burnt, man, like everybody else, we'd all been there. I was doing the same thing I've been doing for 10 years, dabbling. And like I said, I was about done, so I didn't really care. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden, Alan starts posting some stuff on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, what's going on with this thing? And I start paying attention. And my goodness, my world turned around. It's one thing to be successful. I think everybody wants to be successful. But I was told when I came into this business a long time ago that I was supposed to try to help people. I was supposed to try to find solutions for people with problems and put that solution in front of them. If I can make a commission in the meantime, or make a commission as a, from doing that, then, all the better. But I was, it was not about the money. I was not supposed to concentrate on the money. I was supposed to concentrate on helping people. People like Zig Ziglar told me that if I helped as many people, I helped a bunch of people, I'd get what I wanted. I believe stuff like that. I believe stuff I heard from people like Jim Rohn, but I didn't apply myself like I should have. It all changed with Onpassive. My whole attitude changed because for once I had something that I knew was going to work. I knew it was quality. I knew the person who brought it to me was quality, ethical, honest. It had, what I'm trying to say, guys, is it has all the pieces and more. Okay, Ash over delivers on everything. He's a man of integrity, and everything he does, everything he's trying to do is top of the line. I couldn't be more honored to be in this position. Really, that's really what I need to say is I couldn't be more honored to be here. I'm here because of great leadership. I'm here because of Alan Cousins. The man has taught me a ton over the years. And, he does it the way I want to do it. He does it honestly. He does it ethically. He tells it straight. I heard the word authentic earlier. There was another word. I made my living as a carpenter, and there was a word we like to use, and it was adequate. And adequate is good, but adequate, there's a range, are we building a concrete form or are we building a clock? So adequate can mean a lot of different things. And adequate is fine. Adequate is adequate. But I like authentic. And I like more. And I like over the top. And I like being at the tip of the spear. And that's the company I want to work for. I found that here. You guys are awesome. You guys are some of the best people I've ever ran into in my life, but I've run into some really good people. I can't say enough about you guys, this company, these products, the way we're doing it. I love the way we're doing it. We're not out to hurt nobody or replace anybody. We're out to, we're out to help as many people as we can. If you don't see that, you don't see it. But you will. You will. That's enough out of me, guys. I love you all very much. I'm so blessed, so honored to be here. I can't tell you how happy I am. I feel like a kid again. I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast. I don't care if I make a doc. No, just kidding. But yeah, I ain't here to get rich, baby. I'm here to change the world. My world's already changed. My world is already changed. I've already won. Think about that, man. We've already won. Love you. It's enough out of me.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I'm glad for the very first time you came on. I was so glad you spoke. 1 minute, Arthur. I got David's had his hand up for a while. Put your hand up if you want to talk, so I can keep track. Not that hand. Anyway, David Argelic, I believe. I don't see you, but I see your hands
Yeah,
up.
thanks.
There you go, David.
Thanks,
All right.
Marty.
Yep.
Yeah, my name's Dave Angelic, and I'm coming to you from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. So welcome, Canada. Welcome, world. Marina, stealing a little bit of your thunder there. I think that's so great how you start your videos. It's terrific. My story is, again, just like everybody else. I'm 61 years old. I've been in the business world for 50 years. So I started at 10. Actually, I set up a gopher trap line on my grandfather's farm, and he paid me a nickel for every tail that I brought him. So I saved up all my nickels until I could afford to buy a box of 22 shells, and then did that for a little while until he said, okay, that's enough. You got enough of my money? Sorry. So as I was a kid growing up, I always had something on the go. I sold greeting cards door to door. I had a paper route. I picked rocks on my uncle's farm. I washed windows and did all kinds of things. And then once I got out of high school, I had a mentor by the name of Jim Boylan, who owned a pharmacy chain. And I went to work for Jim for about 10 years. And I was a buyer for what ended up being a 5-chain store. And from there, I got an invitation from one of the companies I had dealt with to go on the other side of the table and become a sales representative for Gillette Canada. And from there, I moved into Calgary, went to Vancouver, to Ottawa, and became a sales manager with that company, but unfortunately got downsized and caught on with another company in the same kind of vein. And so I did that type of work for about 15 years. And then from there, I moved on to the Western Hockey League, moved back to my hometown, and became the Senior Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the Medicine Hat Tigers Hockey Club. So that was 24 years of a lot of excitement, seeing a lot of kids getting drafted into the NHL and that. And all through that time, I'd say probably the last 10 years, I've been in the online world, working for a number of different MLMs and that. And I must say I've taken a kick in the pants more than I put money in the bank, that's for sure. 3 of those companies actually ended up going belly up, and they were frauds. So I learned my lesson through that. And as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, I went to the mailbox, and there was a check in there for $134. That was the final payment from one of those companies that actually had gone belly up, and they were prosecuted, and some of the money was returned to people that got into it. But my why for Onpassive is I knew there had to be something out there, and Marty, it's very, very similar to what you have said in the past. You know, you knew there had to be something because, you know, you've been through a number of different things, and I was with an MLM company that I thought was very, very good. Ownership was terrific. People were terrific. The products were terrific. Auto ship wasn't a big monthly payment. I was able to sign up, you know, over 100 people, but biggest problem is that nobody wanted to do the business. You couldn't get people to move along and you know, do the same kind of thing and duplicate. So when I came across Onpassive, Shane Rutledge had done a video that I saw, and it really struck a chord. So I took a look at it, and there was those two videos from Ash that everybody's talked about in the past, and again, that really I really liked what I had to say, or what he had to say, and from there I decided to do my due diligence, and of course the first thing I come up on Google is oh, it's a scam. You know, there's a video there, it's a scam. But the interesting thing out of all of that is that I ran into videos of Mike Ellis. And I watched, I don't know how many videos of what Mike did. And again, I really liked what he had to say, and I jumped in. So I didn't know a ton about the business, but you know, like Richard Branson said, if a great opportunity comes and is presented to you, jump at it and then learn about the business. And that's what I did. And it's cool. So many names and faces here now yet that we get to see during these chats, and that's terrific. And Marty, Mike, Dan, thank you very much for what you guys do. All of the leaders, you know, Marina and my buddy Sean. I've got a couple of businesses under him now, so he's a great guy to talk to. Robert, you know, and Arthur, you know, all these people that have reached out to me. Just a little old guy from the prairies in Alberta. I really appreciate it, and best of the season to everybody. And I'll get off here because I know there's other people that want to get on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Fantastic, David. Fantastic. Go ahead,
Marty.
Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, thanks for all you know, I wanted to say thanks to you and Mike and, you know, Marina and Dan and Mike Ellis, and I probably shouldn't start naming names because it's get you in trouble, but I just wanted to say thanks for all you guys are doing. You guys rock, man. I didn't mention that before, and I didn't want to not say it, so thanks.
Thank you. Rodney Johnson has his hand up.
Hey, Marty, what's going on? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yeah, I'm on a headset going down the road, so as soon as I get a chance, I'll pull over to make sure that I don't lose connection or whatever. But yeah, man, it sounds like we all have the same story. You know, I mean, heck, I remember back in the 80s, back whenever there was an insurance person. That's what got me involved in network marketing. And I talked to so many people, and over the last, 30 years plus, 30, 40 years, I've talked to a whole lot of people, and now it seems like whenever I walk up on somebody, as soon as they see me coming, it's all of a sudden I see their backside. They start running. and so, and I've heard other people say that part of the NFL and I want people to be running backs. But anyway, I've kind of hit and miss and everything, and I can't see how many things I've gotten involved in, because I've got calling in my life, and that right there help orphans and to help build orphanages. And in saying that, I've been in the trucking industry since 2004, in the oil field, and that's just not a avenue that would put me in a place to where I could, give credence to my calling. And so I just kept on trying different network marketing companies and stuff like that. And then one of my friends told me about Onpassive, and I went, yeah, yada yada yada. I've heard this song and dance before, and then about that was in about August of 2018. And then he came back to me in October of 2018. I went, you know what? It's only $100, man. I've lost thousands, and I mean tens of thousands of dollars trying different things, and mostly in Bitcoin. That's where my biggest loss was at. But anyway, so I went ahead and jumped on board, and then I started hearing Ash talking, and because I wasn't missing a webinar. The only webinar I've missed was whenever I got disconnected, and it was that one where the get together there in Hyderabad. But anyway, I started listening to Ash, and it started from a multi-level marketing company / network marketing company, and it just kept on morphing, and it morphs more and morphs more, and then before I knew it, it's a brick and mortar building, where he's got over 600 employees. And so I saw all this stuff happening, and saw the change, and realized that, hey, this is something that's totally different. And so I started, I wasn't going to sell anybody. And so I would call somebody. I called a few of my friends, and I said, hey, I got this opportunity, and it's nothing like I've seen before. It's all built for you, and it's all done for you. And because I know you're going to tell me no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay your way. And so there's no money out of pocket. Now, can you tell me no on that? No, I can't tell you no. So I got a few of my friends in, and then I started thinking. I said, well, man, I'm gonna get my kids involved too. So I went ahead and paid for their spots, and so I've just been kind of sitting back, and and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. There's times I get frustrated and stuff like that because it just isn't going my way. It's all of it, and but yet it's not all about me. It's about how I can help other people. But then I get these selfish moments or whatever, and then I went and talked to my pastor, and so I'm involved in a new church. We just finished building the building. As a matter of fact, it's not even complete yet, but it's about 90% complete.
How about
so
the roast? Is it time to put it in?
What's that? Oh, okay. But anyway, I went ahead and and talk to him. And so what I'm going to do is whenever this launches, the 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 members that help start the church, I'm going to end up buying their way in as far as being a reseller. Because I just don't have the money to buy everybody's. Because I mean, with the oil field tanking the way that it has, I'm unemployed. So anyway, but I wanted to get a strong foundation in for the church, and so it's the thing that I've learned to do, and I still get kind of impatient at times, but I've learned, hey, it's all in God's timing, because I've tried things in my timing before, and I've just messed things up, and so I'm getting better at it, and I've realized that, hey, I pray for Ash and the team and everybody, every day, and realize that whenever it's time, it's going to happen, and that's when the floodgates are going to open up, and I was hoping that it would be this year, and hey, we still have another week left, so it could, we could soft launch, who knows? But you know what, I want God behind it, but I think that's probably about. I think that's kind of wrapping it all up in a nutshell. Don't want to keep it tied up too long, but anyway, hey, thank you everybody for all the support. Thank you everybody for all that you do, whether it's seen or unseen, because it is noticed. And I guess I'll turn it back over to you, Marty.
Thanks, Rodney. Arthur, I'm going to turn it over to Cedric, and then you next, buddy, okay? Cedric, go ahead, buddy. Unmute yourself.
Yes. How everyone doing? Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I loved hearing all the stories. I'm getting the feedback. Was it on my side?
You sound good to us, to me. You have a double picture here. I don't know why that is, but yeah, you sound good to me.
I have my phone. Okay. But I just wanted to say God is good, and I'm so glad, and this is the best decision I ever made in my life. Christmas came early for me, actually on June 25th, 5 days after my birthday. That's when I signed up to become a founder. So real happy about that, and be with people that are like-minded, and it's a joy. Just my father, may he rest in peace, he told me a long time ago, you want to get some financial security, get a hole and get in it. And Dad, I want to tell you, I found the hole, and it's Onpassive. Your hole was the police force, take care of your family, but this is a safer route. But just wanted to say I'm so blessed to found this Onpassive, because God keep tapping me on my shoulder, say, son, stay with this. This is the one. And I've been saying this for the longest. I said it all the time. This is it. But this one, I feel it, because he's reassuring me every day, 24/7. This is it. So I got a lot of people, they on the fence. I had a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. He said, this sounds good. I said, it is. But I'm going to wait till you get your dividends. Okay, fine. You come in after. You might have to pay a little more. It's still good, but I'm trying to get you in, be a founder. But I got a lot of people like that. They got to see the cars, the nice houses and everything. They want to know what I'm doing. They don't want to hear what Ash is doing or what whoever was doing. What are you doing, Sedge? I said, well, I tried to get them on the webinar, but nobody want to believe. So this used to, it still bothered me a little bit when people tell me no, but when you have 400,000 people behind you, it's, whatever. Just see me later on. That's what you're gonna do. That's where my overflow, I think, gonna come. I told my sponsor, Fred Curtis, thank you, Fred, bringing me in. I almost said no to you, but I've been looking for a residual income too long, and I this is a burning desire. I know this is it. Whether friends or family believe me or not, they'll see. They'll see. I don't want to take up no more time. Somebody else to talk, but I know this is the best decision of my life. So I don't want to be selfish. I'm not. This is why I know this is great. This will let me help a lot of people, and the people that I have brought in, you know, I keep telling them they my testimony. You know, so that's all I have to say. Right. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you very much, buddy. I'm glad you are in, by the way. Arthur Gully, the Godfather's in the house. Arthur, what do you got, buddy?
Thank you very much. I'd like to back up feedback on what Eric Kessler said earlier, and he can confirm that when we spoke, I didn't twist his arm. I shared the information, and I left it up to him because I'm not a people chaser, and that's the old school. We don't have to chase anybody here. All we have to do is share it, give the information, make it available, and let them make their decision. Because we all have come here with the same experience, the same negative problems. And I won't go into my story because everybody's story, pieces and bits of it, is my story. I'm here today as an influencer, as a motivator, a mentor, and my suggestion to everyone here: we all came here for some reason of failure or some point. Now we have people here didn't fail. They are successful, and we're glad that they're here because they are our mentors. And why are they here? They are here because they saw the vision to help. That's where the humanity part came in. It's not that they have to be here like we are, the 97% of us. So my suggestion to you is, before you say yes, there are things you have to consider. Would you like to be the lender or the borrower? Would you like to be average or above average? Would you like to be the head or the tail? Now, neither one of those, it could go either way and it would still be good. There's no right or wrong answer to that. But what I'm saying to you, the new people that's coming in as founders that been in maybe a few months or a year, or someone that's here today that's not a founder yet, sitting on the bench, remember this: keep it simple. Keep it simple, Sam, K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, Susie. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. It's all started with trust. Ash Mufareh had a vision, and we all here today trusted that vision. Trusted just like it was an ATM machine. We don't know the mechanics of it, but we trusted enough to use it. All it takes to believe the vision that Ash has shared with us, and then we share with everyone else. Don't worry about people that you don't have anyone on your team. I don't even like to use the word team because when they hear team, they think of network marketing. So we're not network marketing we started out that way, but the vision got bigger. It got so we're now an artificial intelligent information technology company. We are a company. You can witness here today. We are real people. We're not scripted. We're speaking from our hearts, and those are speaking from experience. So here's my thing. Don't worry about well, I don't have a group of people. I don't have a network built. This is why we are here. The top of us, that 1% that's here as leaders, that's already successful before they came here, including Ash Mufareh, they could have just went on and did what they were doing and didn't have to go through the headaches and all the stuff that we had, the negative thing, the COVID-19, they could have done that without us. But because Ash decided to share this with us, he said, if you're in it, you'll win it. If we just trust that and come along and wait till Onpassive launch, the spillover, the company we're paying for them to market, don't worry about the team. Don't worry about building your network. He already said it. It will happen. So not worried about what people they don't understand. If they don't, that's a good thing. Everybody's not supposed to be founders. There's some people that are coming in now that probably don't need to be founders. They just want to be in here just to use the products. So that's what we need to start focusing on. Be here to be in it, to win it. Now, what we're doing, we are a new frontier, just like Star Trek. We are taking you to a place that no other company has ever gone before. That's all it takes to keep it simple, realizing that I don't have to worry about it. If you can do that, you'll be surprised what the next 2 to 3 years will be like. So just keep it simple. I just wanted to keep you motivated. I'm a mentor if you need me. There are ways to get me to my messenger. And I already have people already signed up in my mentor program. I'm not opening it up to to add any more people, but I will help people no matter where you came from, who you are, what country you are, it doesn't matter. This is the uniqueness of this business. We're worldwide. There's one language as far as I'm concerned, and that's sharing humanity. So I hope that everyone, I'm glad you all are here. We appreciate you. This is the best family I've ever been involved in when it comes to a business. When I say like-minded, we are here are like-minded, although we are all business-minded in some sense, but like-minded because we're all on the same.
You're muted, Arthur. Arthur, you're muted, bud. Last couple seconds.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope everybody understand what I was saying.
Yeah. Thank you, Arthur. He's beautiful as usual. We're going on 2.5 hours now. I don't see any more hands up in here. Mike Horde, you got anything else or anybody?
Hey, we have Jeffrey Morlock on here, and I think Jeffrey Morlock goes back to way in the beginning, certainly very connected to Ash Mufareh.
Embryo, yes.
And if there's somebody I would like to hear from, and Viviana Rodriguez too, but Jeffrey Morlock, we haven't got to know each other. It's one of the cool things about when we do here with our Fireside Chat is now we get to come together and we get to see the faces and we get to know people. And I'd just like to hear a little bit from you, Mr. Morlock.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. I have an apology. I forgot that my camera was going and my wonderful bride came out with 3 other gifts. And I didn't realize that the camera was on until somebody said in the chat, "Nice socks, Jeffrey." Like,
so we got to share. We got to share a little gifting with you, and that's. Yeah.
Oh well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this particular session with as many people as we've had on. We have such a phenomenal group. We have leaders from literally every walk of life. And the interesting thing that I've seen is twofold from this particular episode of webinar today is, one, that we all have pretty much a same story. that we've come from somewhere on our way to somewhere, and this is it for us, and we're really enjoying this, and we've all, well, as it's been explained, we've all experienced loss or disappointment, broken promises with the online marketing paradigm. And number two, it's almost without fail that I hear that we were all at one point or another, or most of us, very skeptical of Onpassive, which is very appropriate, especially since the day before yesterday, I put out that skeptical video kind of explaining, what skepticism is and where it came from. And now I have all these people that are saying, yeah, this is what I was looking at, and this is why I didn't trust it and don't trust it. And it all comes from prior belief and things that have happened in our past that we've consolidated into our own personal belief and given value to. And that's why we look at it and go, nope, been there, done that, this ain't gonna work, which I would encourage anybody to go back and look at that video. It's got a lot of good information about skepticism, cynicism, that sort of things, but it also talks a great deal about Onpassive, as a lot of our videos do, with certainly Marina. Well, I'll tell you, girl, you're knocking it out of the park here lately. I know Onpassive Nation is. There's just so many leaders that are doing so many phenomenal things that it's absolutely incredible to see this and to witness this. And when I hear others with the same mindset that I talk to others at, and I say, wow, when I first started, do you remember how it was listening to the webinars and the people speak? Now listen to them. Every one of us have grown, and we have matured in what we are doing with Onpassive, and we have developed ourselves and our personalities into it. And Onpassive has become a reflection of all that we are. And at the very top, the capstone of this pyramid, so to speak, and I hate using that term, although I love the point of it, is Mr. Ash Mufareh. It is his heart and his vision and his belief and his willingness and his resources and his motivation to do this that has pulled us all into this. And I would almost be willing to make a tangible bet that some of our biggest team leaders, Mr. Russo and just, who they are, I would almost guarantee that at some point beginning, they kind of went, this really doesn't pass the smell test. I need to learn more, like all of us did. But we'll all get there, and we're all getting there now. And I am just absolutely loving the journey. So hearing everybody talk today, hearing their personal testimonies and their personal eyewitness accounts of what they've experienced throughout this whole thing, to me is just part and parcel of the creation of the behemoth, this beast, this marketing platform created with AI in heart that is just going to stormtroop the world. It's literally changing the online landscape. The what do we call it? The paradigm shift that is Onpassive. I mean, we are defining it. It's incredible to me. Mike, I thank you so much for hosting these things, and I'm telling you, I'm loving it. I mean, even as I'm sitting here and listening to these stories, I've got more ideas about things that I would like to do. And I was talking about people about having a Morlock Foundation and going to the local charities and saying, what is it that you need? And how can we help? And how can we build you bigger and stronger and faster and sweeter, like the Heinz commercial catch-up almost. It's incredible. It's incredible just to see the growth and see how many more founders are stepping up to that leadership plate, getting ready to smack the ball in the direction that they want to hit it. The current leadership founding people, or the current leadership council founders, I mean, even looking back at them, the growth is phenomenal. Just the maturity and working into that leadership position. And that, believe it or not, is part and parcel with what Onpassive's mission is. And we're going to do it for the world. And as we become successful, and as we take those things that we have and that we need and that we want, and we fulfill them in ourselves, then from our abundance, like somebody said earlier, we're going to reach out, we're going to spill over into the world, into our local communities, into our families, into our cities and nations, and we're going to lift them up and build them up and help them to achieve and to become more of what we have become as well. So, I mean, I could talk for a long time, but there's a lot of other folks that should probably get on here. I mean, I am ecstatic to be a part of anything that you guys do. And then, you know, as far as being a founder, I wasn't a marketer either. I mean, it wasn't until Mr. Mufareh, he had to ask me 3 times to do a video, you know? So, and then I turned out, yeah, I like it, and I'm good at it. So God bless him. He helped me there. You know, I never did anything on YouTube. I never did anything really fancy or anything with marketing. I'm not like a lot of you where I just got into marketing like 2.5 years ago, and I wasn't successful at it. I've lost money, and there was a guy talking about losing money in crypto. I lost my shorts, thousands when I look back at it. But it doesn't matter. I'm here now, and every bit of that and every bit of anything that all of us have been subject to has been a stepping stone and part of the creating process to get us to where we are now. And this is what Onpassive is. And that's why my hat is off and my heart goes out to Mr. Mufareh. I know that he has got to be working around the clock. He's got to be driving himself about silly with 400,000 founders and trying to get this what I've come to term, you know, regulatory excellence. I think that's what it is. I think that's what we're going after. I think these last things that we're involved with the regulations and the certifications we're going after have never been done or heard of in business. I think we are setting the standard. I think it's going to be an Onpassive class standard. It's going to supersede and excel way above world standard. And I think that's just who we are because of Mr. Mufareh's vision. And that's kind of where I'm at. I hope I didn't get too far off topic, but I mean, if you've got any questions, Mike, I'd love to answer them, but God bless all of you. I mean,
well, we definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you coming out and sharing, especially someone who is so connected and has so much to share with us. And, you know, so thank you again, Jeffrey. And so Viviana Rodriguez is a part of the membership council. We have become very dear friends over the years. And so we all talk about the things that we've done, you know, and I look around the landscape and, you know, a lot of us are in that age bracket of 50 plus. And so we've done a lot of things and we've learned. And I heard one of the other speakers here talk about, you know, I learned from this, I learned from this, I learned from this. So you know, some of the people that I've worked with over the years, we've spent money, and some of them a lot of money. I mean, in the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I like to comfort people and say that that was tuition. If you're still here today and you're here at Onpassive, you've learned from the money you've spent, and that was you went to school. And here you are, and life is about to change. And I love how Viviana has stepped up to become a leader, because she was not a network marketer. She was really not a person who was a guru in network marketing, but she has built a huge team with Onpassive. She's on the leadership council, and I just love how Viviana shares Onpassive and what her why is.
Well, the way I share Onpassive is very simple. It's such a simple business. You know, anybody can do this. Anybody can. All you have to do is come in and participate. You don't even have to participate if you don't want to. Just, you know, get a position and get in. And so the simplicity is what really drew me to it. I've tried other businesses, failed them miserably. You know, but what I was telling Mike earlier today, I refuse to give up. I know that there's something out there that will work. And when I came across Onpassive and I saw how easy it was, I said, I'm in. And the way I share it is I share it from the heart. The team that I have, or I mainly focus on the Spanish market. So I paint the picture for them. I tell them, if you get into this company, this is where it's going. It's AI technology. So sometimes I'll get the response, well, I know nothing about technology. Well, you don't need to. I mean, if you're using a cell phone, you're using technology, right? so when you find a common ground, then they start understanding that this is not complicated. It's super simple. And so the other way I present it is I tell them, look, get your family in. Get your husband, your wife, your kids, your grandchildren, get them in, and that way you all can have a business together, or you can succeed together. Because where this is going, it's like what Arthur was saying. This is like Star Trek. This is a last frontier. And we're going into the future. So buckle up and hang on, because we're going for a ride. But the great thing is the simplicity. If they see the simplicity and they plug in and they understand that these are products that everybody uses. One of the platforms that we use is Zoom, right? So we have something in common there. So they understand what Zoom is. They understand, so.
Yes, I got thrown up on pecans earlier.
But the other thing that I was going to bring out is, money determines our life. It really does. Everything revolves around money, right? So if we have an abundance of money, we can live out those dreams that we have dreamed about, whether it's traveling, whether it's buying a new house, whether it's buying a car, whether it's, putting your kids through college. I mean, there's money is the basis of everything. So here we have an opportunity to have that abundance of money, because once it launches, this is going to keep rolling. It's like that snowball effect, right? You have a snowball and it starts rolling and rolling. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So that's what this company is going to do. Once it launches, it's just going to keep going and going and going. And our incomes as founders are going to keep growing and growing and growing, because customers are going to be coming in. And I mean, it's infinite. The internet is global. It's infinite. So what a great place to be in. What a great place to make our dreams come true. What a great place to be able to help other people. So yeah, definitely share it with others. Let them also come on board and dream with us.
Thank you, Viviana. See how she just keeps it so simple. She's got the biggest team on my team. I really appreciate you and love the friendship. And so yeah, now we're getting coming up on a little over 2.5 hours, and I'd like to put this thing to rest. But I always love to hear from a special person here who I consider a brother. Family, Sean Cyrus, and I know that you feel the same way about Ash Mufareh, and that's what I'd like you to talk a little bit about, because you two are very close. You've been around a long time, and you become family with Onpassive, with so many people here, and certainly with Ash Mufareh.
Mike, thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Am I coming in nice and clearly, or is there any feedback?
Very, very clear. We got you.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to say hello to my friends. Dave, it's a pleasure to be here with you, brother. Also, Cedric, hello. Tim, how are you doing, brother? Just people who don't get as much opportunities to be on the panel and speak with us. Also, Kevin Rutledge, my friend, I appreciate you a lot. As well, Robert, always a pleasure to be, engaged with you, my friend, as well. I'd like to say hello to Angie, my friend as well, beautiful friend. She's just a superstar. It's been a great journey, and we've been using the analogy where having your eyes closed along the journey makes no sense. It was, Marty DeGarmo, who really opened my eyes to understanding that. Having your eyes closed along the journey, missing all the beautiful scenery, the things that we go through, the ups and downs, the things that make us stronger, right? It's priceless, you know, for people who just want the money and just want the success and just want the time and the freedom. That's fine and dandy, but you're missing a whole lot of camaraderie, a whole lot of togetherness, a whole lot of love that everybody has been sharing with each other, a whole lot of appreciation. Everybody here has made friends with everybody, and we've all become this amazing family. And I wouldn't trade it, you know. It's been trying, of course, but it's also been rewarding. So, you know, life is a give or take, and a journey is we'll never forget this. We'll never forget this, you know. When I hear Marina speak and it's so influential, and just to hear that, you can hear that she's speaking from her heart, and it's so lovely to have people like her part of this leadership council and part of this business, you know. My big brother, Marty DeGarmo, who I love dearly, Dan, Mike Ellis, just the people who've adopted me into their family. I can speak on this over and over. You know, I just enjoy the enthusiasm of Jeffrey Morlock's videos. They've just encouraged me every week. You know, just having a big brother like Arthur Gully, who has just inspired me each and every time. I owe everybody, you know, it's like I become a piece of everybody. Everybody speaks through me, you know, when I speak. And of course you, Mike, or just seeing your resilience and hearing your stories and just the passion that you have to make it. And you know, as well, Lauren, you know, your touching story today and hearing everything you had to say and the challenges you've had, you know. I just try to listen a lot, you know. Viviana, the leader that I've watched you become, excellent. And that's mainly here, what I'm here for, just to spread the love and to show everybody that, you know, this has brought out the best in us all. It really has. It really has. I've learned so much from everybody. It's like a lot of times when we get promoted or we feel that we've reached a certain climax, our heads get bigger. But what's happened with me is I've become more humble as I've learned from all of you wonderful people. So, you know, I won't say too much. We've been here so long, but I would do it all over again. Another 3 hours. We can stay here again because you know what? I love you guys. So respect to everybody. God bless. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. 2021 is going to be like a new galaxy for us because we're just going to be killing it. So love all y'all.
Sean, what a great way to sum up today's get together, you know, our hangout, our fireside chat. You know, Happy New Year to everyone. We're going to do this again next Saturday. We'll load it up. It's just, man, what a great day. So, hey, let's go ahead and shut this down, Marty. Right? Let's put it to rest, and everybody kind of unmute yourself and say hello, say goodbye, say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Marty.
Thank you.
Sayonara.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Year. New Year.
Good night, John boy.
I just want to remind everyone the webinar at the Indian webinar with Ash, what's the time? I'm getting confused. 10:30 EST. That's it.
7:30
So for
Pacific.
South Africans, it's 5:30 in the morning. I know we're 7 hours ahead of America. So yes, hoping we'll all see you there let's hear what our CEO has to say. He's always got something new at the different webinars he's on. So yeah, looking forward to that. Try and get some sleep beforehand.
Thank you, Marina. It's always a pleasure having you speak on our calls too.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Marina.
Marty is the bomb.
Marty is the bomb.